Do you think that there is power in being able to forgive? Is there power in forgiveness? I'd like to think that it is one of the most powerful things that we can do is to actually be able to extend forgiveness, not only to um, others, but also more importantly to ourselves. A lot of times it may be even easier to say to someone else, I forgive you, um, especially if they ask for forgiveness. If they know that they have in some way hurt you, offended you, um, disappointed you, and they come and ask for forgiveness. Um, and we feel that they're truly sincere. Most times it's doable to say, I accept your apology. Um, but then there are times when you don't ever get the apology. How easy is it to forgive someone that's not sorry? Ugh. No apology, no explanation, just they did what they did and they moved on. Whether it was the breakdown of a relationship, the person moved on, you never got closure, you never got an explanation, you never got a I'm sorry, and that's sometimes hard to get past that, right? It's hard to accept um, not getting that, but yet how do you forgive and how do you move on, and is it possible? I'm here to tell you that anything is possible, right? It's just how you look at it. It's really all about your mindset. And forgiveness, it's a process. Believe me, it is a process that you have to go through, but it's possible and it's necessary. Forgiveness is necessary, not so much for the person that created the offense, but it is absolutely necessary for you. For me, it's necessary for us to forgive so that we can be free. And what does that look like, right? Unforgiveness looks something like this: getting up every morning and picking up this very heavy object, bag, whatever you want to call it. And we're going to call it the unforgiveness bag. And you pick this unforgiveness bag up every morning that you rise, and you get up and you put it on. And it just sits there, right? And you carry this thing around with you every day, all day. And after a while, you start to kind of get used to it. It may have started out to be this heavy thing that you had to carry. But after a while, you just kind of get used to it and it just becomes a part of you. And you don't even realize how heavy it is anymore because you've adjusted to it. Forgiving is allowing yourself to be able to take that thing off and leave it. Forgive people for you. Forgive people so that you don't have to carry that, so that you don't have to be weighed down with that burden. That's a burden. Is it easy to do? You say, Coach A, is it easy to do? Absolutely. Absolutely not. And can we forgive and forget? You know, I'm inclined to say that I don't think that that's necessarily possible, to forgive and to forget, because we remember stuff. You know, it's not like you can just wipe things out of your memory. But I think that the thing is that to remember behind that is not to focus on it. You can forgive, but not focus on it anymore. I mean, it's not very realistic to think that you're not ever going to remember it, right? You're going to remember it, but you don't have to focus on it. You don't have to focus on it. And so, forgiveness is a process. It's a process that you got to get through so that you can get on with life, so that you can get over it, so that you don't turn into this bitter person that's just walking around with this unforgiving heart, right? Because if we want forgiveness, then we have to be forgiving. Even when we don't get the apology, even when the person's not sorry, even when we don't get what we feel that there's no justice, or we feel like we just got duped and nobody cares, right? You have to get to a place of peace within yourself when you say, you know what? I'm going to choose to forgive. I'm not going to allow this thing to fester and eat away at me and become a cancerous thing that I just can't get over. Absolutely not. Because it robs you of your joy. It robs so much away from you. And it's unnecessary. Now, I'm not saying that we should have to downplay anything or just let people treat us any old kind of way and just let them get away with it and just, no, you learn. Absolutely. You learn from experiences and you learn kind of like what to do and what not to do, right, in the future. But it also may teach us something about ourselves because a lot of times we allow certain situations to happen. Um, it's kind of like, some things, let's keep it real. Some things you got no business getting involved in, right? There's some people that you ain't got no business dealing with, right? So when you get hurt, you at some point you do have to kind of look in the mirror and you got to take some accountability and say, you know what? Yeah, it happened. This happened. Life happened, and I kind of have to take some responsibility for my actions because I had all these flags. I had all these red flags, pink flags, all kind of flags saying, but sometimes we decide to do what we want to do, and then we get hurt. So sometimes we have to learn how to forgive us, forgive ourselves for the choices and the decisions that we make, because a lot of times, let's be honest, no one forces us to do anything for the most part. We kind of free will decide to make decisions, and then we have to learn how to say, you know what, I messed up. I messed up, and you have to learn how to forgive yourself so that you can move on. Because it's all about freedom, right? It's all about being free. And anything that holds you down or holds you back or doesn't allow you that freedom is a problem. It's a problem, right? So I just wanted to share this little tidbit about forgiveness and about the process of forgiveness and about allowing yourself to be open enough to say, you know what? I choose to forgive whether a person asks for your forgiveness or not. I choose to forgive. I choose to heal. I choose to allow myself to be able to open up my heart again, to love again, to trust again. I'm not going to let this one experience, sabotage the rest of my life, right? So hopefully this may have, helped you in some way. If you might have been struggling with, having some unforgiveness in your heart, maybe we can try looking at things a little bit differently, because nothing and no one is worth you um, losing your freedom and your peace of mind. Okay? So choose to forgive. But remember, it's a process. Thanks.